It is 6 a.m. Your baby is sleeping in the next room. You reach for your phone, and the first notification you see stops your heart. It is a news alert. 3 words. Birthright Citizenship ended. Your hands are shaking now. You sit up slowly because your mind goes immediately to your child. The child you held in that hospital room, the child you registered with the Social Security Administration, the child you believed with everything inside you, was a United States citizen from the moment they took their first breath on American soil. And now you are reading that the ground underneath your family has shifted overnight. You are wondering, is my child still a citizen? Are we going to be separated? Can the government take this back? Is everything we built here about to collapse? I need you to stay with me right now, because in the next few minutes I am going to walk you through exactly what is happening, what the law actually says, what is real, what is a lie, and most importantly, what you need to do today to protect your child and your family. Let me tell you something first. You are not alone in that panic. Right now, millions of immigrant parents across this country are feeling exactly what you are feeling. And that fear, that raw, suffocating fear, is exactly what causes people to make the worst decisions of their lives. They run to a Notario who charges them $2,000 for paperwork that means nothing. They call a cousin who watched one video on TikTok and now considers himself an immigration expert. They do nothing at all because the fear is so big they freeze completely. All 3 of those responses are dangerous. And all 3 of them are what the system is counting on. Because here is what most immigrants do not understand. The chaos around this issue is not accidental. Confusion is a tool. When you do not know your rights, you cannot exercise them. And when you cannot exercise your rights, enforcement becomes easier. So the most powerful thing you can do right now, today, is get informed. That is why you are here, and that is why I am going to give you the full picture. Now let us talk about what actually happened, because the details matter more than the headline. In January 2025, an executive order was signed that attempted to end birthright citizenship for children born in the United States to parents who are undocumented or on temporary visas. The order directed federal agencies to stop issuing citizenship documents, including passports and social security numbers, to these children. That is the order that set off the earthquake you are feeling right now. But here is what you absolutely must know. That executive order was immediately challenged in federal court. Within days, multiple federal judges issued injunctions. Those are court orders that block the policy from taking effect while the legal challenge is heard. As of 2026, the United States Supreme Court has weighed in on the procedural question of whether lower courts had the authority to issue those nationwide blocks. But the core constitutional question, whether birthright citizenship itself can be ended by executive order, has not been fully resolved at the Supreme Court level. What that means is simple. The policy has not fully taken effect nationwide in the way the order intended. Children born on U.S. soil are still receiving citizenship documentation in most jurisdictions. However, the legal battle is ongoing, the situation is developing, and you must stay ahead of it. Here is the legal foundation that is protecting your child right now, and I need you to hold this tightly. The 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, ratified in 1868, says this clearly. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. That phrase, born in the United States, has been interpreted by U.S. courts for over 100 years to include children born here regardless of the immigration status of their parents. The landmark Supreme Court case, United States versus Wong Ark in 1898, confirmed this interpretation. A child born in the United States to foreign national parents was ruled to be a citizen under the 14th Amendment. That ruling has never been overturned. It is binding precedent. The argument on the other side focuses on the phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, claiming it excludes children of undocumented parents. That is the argument being made to justify the executive order. But the overwhelming weight of legal history and court interpretation runs against that argument. As of today, no U.S. Supreme Court majority has ruled that the 14th Amendment excludes these children. And until one does, your child's birthright citizenship remains protected by the highest law in this land. Now I need to talk about the social media disaster happening in parallel to all of this. Because while the lawyers are fighting in federal courts, the misinformation is spreading faster than any court order ever could. I have seen videos, some with millions of views, saying that the executive order is already in full effect, that U.S.-born children of undocumented parents are no longer citizens as of a specific date in 2025 or 2026, that you need to immediately apply for some special status, or your child will be deported, and that you should surrender your child's U.S. passport or not apply for one because it is now illegal. Every single one of those claims is false. Not partially false. Completely false. The executive order's implementation has been blocked by federal courts. USCIS is still processing applications that include claims of birthright citizenship. The State Department is still issuing passports to U.S.-born children in most circumstances. If someone online is telling you to surrender your child's citizenship documents, or that applying for a passport will get you flagged for deportation, they are either dangerously uninformed or they are trying to scare you into paying them for help you do not need. Do not follow that advice. Do not share that advice. Let me also address what the notarios and the so-called immigration consultants, who are not lawyers, are selling right now. They are packaging fear as a product. They are telling parents that they need to file emergency petitions, register their children with consulates in ways that undermine their U.S. citizenship claims, or pay for document preparation services that will supposedly protect their child's status. None of this is grounded in actual law. If your child was born in the United States and you have their birth certificate, their social security number, and their U.S. passport if they have one, those documents represent their citizenship claim. You do not need to file anything new right now to maintain what already exists. What you do need to do is prepare, document, and stay informed. And I am going to walk you through exactly how. Here is your action plan, and I need you to implement this starting tonight. The first thing you need to do is gather and secure every document that establishes your child's U.S. birth. That means their original birth certificate, not a photocopy, the original with the raised seal, their social security card, their U.S. passport if they have one, and any hospital records from the birth. Put all of these in a waterproof, fireproof container or a safety deposit box at your bank. Take clear photographs of every single document and store those photographs in a secure cloud account, like Google Drive or iCloud, that only you can access. You want physical copies and digital backups in 2 separate locations. This is not paranoia, this is preparation. If your child's citizenship is ever questioned, the burden of proof falls on you to provide evidence. Make sure that evidence is organized and accessible at all hours. The second thing you need to do is apply for your child's U.S. passport if they do not already have one. I know that might sound counterintuitive given everything you are hearing online, but listen to me carefully. A U.S. passport is the single strongest proof of citizenship that exists. It is issued by the federal government after a review of your child's birth documents. Having that passport on record creates an official federal document that is extremely difficult to challenge at an individual level. Go to travel.state.gov, find the nearest passport acceptance facility, and schedule that appointment. You will need the original birth certificate, proof of your identity and relationship to the child, and the application fee. Do this now, while the courts are still blocking the executive order, and while passport processing is still operating normally. The third thing you need to do is consult a licensed immigration attorney, not a notario, not an immigration consultant, not someone who watched a YouTube video, an actual attorney licensed to practice immigration law in your state. Many nonprofit legal organizations offer free or reduced-cost consultations for immigrant families. Organizations like the National Immigration Law Center, RACES, the Immigrant Legal Resource Center, and local legal aid societies can connect you with real attorneys. Bring your child's documents to that consultation, and ask specifically about the current status of the birthright citizenship litigation, whether there is anything specific to your state or jurisdiction that affects your child's status, and what protective steps are recommended given your family's specific immigration situation. A 30-minute consultation with a real attorney is worth more than 10 hours of research on social media. The fourth step is to document your own immigration status thoroughly. If you are undocumented, on a visa, have a green card, or have any pending immigration case, make sure those records are organized. Your status as a parent is directly relevant to your child's situation because enforcement actions targeting you could indirectly threaten your ability to care for your U.S. citizen child. Know exactly where your documents are. Know your case numbers. Know your next hearing dates. Know what stage any pending application is in. And if you have a pending application, whether it is a green card, an adjustment of status, a DACA renewal, or anything else, do not miss any deadline. Do not assume a deadline has been extended unless you have confirmed it on uscis.gov directly. The fifth step is to create what immigration attorneys call a family preparedness plan. This is a document you write and store securely that designates who will care for your U.S. citizen child if you are detained or deported. It should name a trusted adult U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident who has agreed to take temporary guardianship if necessary. It should include that person's full contact information, your child's documents list, your attorney's contact information, and any relevant case numbers. It should also include a simple letter written in your child's primary language and in English explaining the situation and confirming your child's U.S. citizenship. No one wants to prepare for the worst, but families who prepare are families that survive. The sixth step is to stay informed from credible sources only. Bookmark uscis.gov, supremecourt.gov, and travel.state.gov on your phone right now. When you see a news story or a social media post about birthright citizenship, do not share it until you have confirmed it with one of those sources or with a licensed attorney. The misinformation moves faster than the facts, and every time you share something false, you contribute to the panic that is putting other families at risk. My name is James. I am a senior immigration analyst with 6 years of experience, and on Immigration News Today, I do not give you opinions. I give you the survival strategies that keep families together. I have watched this community get burned by bad information, by panic, and by people who profit from fear. That is not what this channel is about. What I just gave you is grounded in the actual text of the 14th Amendment, in the history of U.S. court decisions, in the current procedural posture of the birthright citizenship litigation, and in the practical steps that real immigration attorneys are recommending to their clients right now. The fight over birthright citizenship is not over. The courts have not issued a final word. But your job is not to wait and worry. Your job is to prepare, document, protect, and stay informed. And that is exactly what you are doing by being here. Immigration rules change overnight. Join my WhatsApp community for instant alerts before I post on YouTube. The moment a new court ruling drops, the moment USCIS updates its policy guidance, the moment a new memo is issued that affects your family, you will hear about it from me before it hits the news cycle. The link to join is in the description below this video. It is free, it is fast, and it could be the most important thing you do today. If you want accurate, fast, and reliable immigration updates, subscribe to Immigration News Today right now and turn on notifications. Staying informed is no longer optional, it is essential. I am James. Protect your status, protect your family. I will see you in the next update.